The following video was recorded on location in my state-of-the-art office in the corner of my first floor apartment. If you like what you're about to hear, please like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell in the upper right corner. Thank you for taking the time to do this, to be able to promote the brand new sophomore album from Inglorious, which is available now. And I just really got to say, I love what you guys are doing since the first album. I love the direction that it's going in. It's so catchy. It's got that classic hard rock feel, and you guys just absolutely nailed it.
Thank you very much, man. That means a lot. We are feeling pretty good now about the album over here in the UK. So yeah, it's amazing that people over there are hearing it as well. You know.
Oh yes. And since the album has been out for roughly a week and a half, what has the overall reception been for the album so far?
Crazy good, really good. We've had lots of great reviews everywhere. Most of the reviews in the UK have been 8s, 9s, and 10s. So yeah, we're feeling very positive about it. We're looking forward to getting out there this summer and later in the year and playing these songs live, because that's kind of, as a band, what we really enjoy doing. So yeah, it's going to be good fun. Also, we can get rid of the covers from our set. You know, we've got enough material now to do our own stuff, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's one thing to be able to go out there with a brand new band and be able to tour and play some great covers as well, but when you finally reach that point to where you can play all of your own original material, that is a great feeling.
Yeah, it is. And the whole of last year was tough because people wanted us to play longer than an hour or longer than 75 minutes, and we just couldn't without playing 4 or 5 covers. So this year we actually struggled to write our set list for our album launch, which was a good thing. It's a good problem to have. So yeah, we're feeling really positive, and people are enjoying the songs, the new ones and the ones from last year as well. So yeah, it's just a really positive place to be at the minute.
Oh, that's great to hear. And in speaking of that, how much do you feel the band has changed since the first album? Like inside the studio, outside the studio, all of that together?
I feel like we're so much more comfortable with each other as writers, you know, and as musicians. We really know each other now. Sorry, I'm absolutely exhausted.
Oh, quite understandable.
Sorry. It's been a long day. So yeah, we just know each other. Also, what was great about this album is that Andreas, our lead guitar player, was able to write with us, whereas on the first album he couldn't write with us because he joined the band 2 weeks before we recorded the album. So he brought an influence to this album, which I think is really good. He's Swedish, so he's good at writing great guitar melodies, and you know, there's a lot of good music that's come from Scandinavia. So yeah, I feel like he added quite a lot to this album. And also, the last album was my debut as a writer. So this is a lot less scary the second time, you know. I feel like I'm pretty good at it now, so I wasn't as scared going in, and I wasn't thinking, oh my God, is anyone going to like these songs? No, I felt really confident in my writing and in our ability as a band.
Would you say that was the biggest change for you since the last album, was confidence in just knowing that you know what you're doing and feeling confident as a songwriter?
Yeah, and people enjoyed the first album, you know. People like the songs that are on there. There's, in my home right now, and I'm looking at a trophy that we won, for an award we won for the best British single at the Planet Rock Awards, which is the biggest rock radio station in the UK. And that's a song that I wrote in this very house, you know, like in my bedroom. Like, it's really strange to think that people have connected with those songs so much, and that we're winning awards for them, and that people sing them back at our shows. And yeah, I hope people find the same enjoyment with some of the songs on this second album, because already there's a couple of standouts live that seem to be going down really well.
Well, I'm glad to hear that as well from the first album, because I very much enjoy that debut. But the brand new album, I mean, like you mentioned before about those great Swedish melodic guitar riffs that are now into the band. I mean, the songs are just as catchy as the first album, if not more. And I mean, there's just so many great classic songs that are represented on the new album. And it's great to see that, because with the second album, that's where you really start to prove if the band has any longevity. And you guys have definitely proven that you guys are here to stay.
Yeah, we feel that way, and people were so shocked that we bought an album out so soon after the first one. But genuinely, this is our full-time job. This isn't some project, you know. This isn't some little side thing to earn money. God knows it doesn't earn money yet. So we're doing this for the love of it. We want to tour like they did back in the 70s. You know, we want to write an album a year. We want to go on the road all year. Then we want to go back in the studio and we want to do the same thing every year. That's how it should be. You know, we have a really good work ethic as a band, and I'm pretty proud of that. Actually, it's one of the things I'm most proud of is that we do not stop thinking or writing. Or as soon as this album came out last Friday, my bass player messaged me and was like, "Okay, so I've got a couple of riffs for album 3," and I thought, God, it's just literally about. And yeah, we just don't waste any time.
And that's really refreshing to hear, because there are so many bands that put out an album because they feel like they need to as an excuse to go out and tour, but it definitely sounds from this point of view that you guys actually want to create new music because you want to create new music, not just as an excuse to tour.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the art of writing an album as a whole piece of work and as a piece of art is totally disappeared. You know, people just want to write a couple of singles, and what feels to me recently is that people write a couple of singles for the album and then everything else is filler. Whereas we treat all of our songs with the same respect, you know, and some of them are obviously not radio singles and things like that, but we are really proud of all of them, and nothing weak makes any of our albums because we overwrite. We write 30 songs. We wrote 30 songs for the last album. We wrote 30 songs for this album, and then we pick which ones work well together, and we pick kind of what we need and what we want to say, and which song does it better. So that's how we get to the group of songs that we do. It's not like we sit down and go, okay, we've got to write 10 songs because that's what the record label wants. You know, we write as many as we want.
And in speaking of that, from the songwriting point of view, how can you tell when a guitar riff or a song is weak compared to the other material?
For me, it's if something inspires a melody, or if something gives me a chorus, or do you know what I mean? It stirs an emotion or something. Like, I remember on this album, actually, I wrote a couple of, not so much riffs, but choruses at the piano, and that's something I've been trying to do myself. Each kind of riff comes from a different place, because Colin, our bass player, is also a good guitar player. He plays a couple of riffs. He wrote No Good For You on pretty much all of it, apart from the lyrics and melody. So Phil Beaver, the drummer, is a great guitar player. So between the lot of us, we all kind of sit there. Someone brings a riff to the table. If one of us thinks it's crap, we put it to the side. If we're all feeling it, we change it a little bit. We find it so everyone's happy, and then we turn it into a song. And that's what I think is also very different about this band. We don't write, pardon me, on 5 different continents or in 5 different cities. You know, we get together in a room. We fly our guitarist over from Sweden for a week or every weekend, and we look at each other in the eyes and we write together, because it's only then when you can really see if someone's really liking something, you know, when you can look in the whites of people's eyes and go, okay, we're all feeling this. This is a good feeling. Let's go with this.
And again, you know, that's just a really refreshing thing to hear, because there is so much reliance on technology nowadays. And not to say there's anything wrong with that, as some great music can be made through technology. I mean, whether sending files across each other from across the world or something. But when you're in a band,
absolutely.
There's no greater feeling than being able to sit in a room with somebody and like hash out what is going to make for a great song.
Yeah, and I feel lucky that we have the opportunity to do that. But I don't know why people don't. That's what music is, you know. It's like sex. If you do it alone, it's rubbish. So you have to do it with other people. You know, you have to see people. You have to interact. You have to read other people's emotions, and whether that's good or bad, you know. We've had some riffs brought to the table in our meetings, and one of us has gone, "That's terrible." You know, we've all got different opinions, but in the end, we get there as a whole. And even like on this last album, there was a couple of songs that didn't make the record. One of them was really, really heavy riff. It was almost like a Black Sabbath-y kind of sludgy riff. It sounded great, but it just wasn't necessarily us, or it wasn't what we wanted to be now. So yeah, but it's quite cool that we've got a back catalogue of like 35 ideas or so, but we tend not to use them going forward, which I think is pretty cool as well. So come album 3, we do the exact same. I think we're going to go abroad this time though. We're going to go and write somewhere very calm and peaceful, not in the UK. Somewhere where there's no distractions, and we're just going to do the same thing, all on acoustic guitars, have a lot of fun, drink a lot of beer, and just enjoy ourselves.
And again, I can't say it enough. It's so refreshing to hear that you guys get along so well. You can read each other so well. No one pulls rank on anybody and feels like a riff needs to be played, no matter if no one else in the band enjoys it. I mean, it really sounds like all of you guys are thinking with the same mindset. You're able to get along and create some amazing music together.
Yeah, it's really not that hard. Like, if I respect everyone in my band as a musician, and therefore it's easy, you know. Some days I'll be right, some days them will be right. It doesn't need to be a problem, you know, like ever. Also, ultimately, we're guys in our 20s. We want to have a good time. We don't necessarily want it to be hard work. If it was hard work and if it was really tasking and enjoyable, we wouldn't be doing it. There's no point. I left the Trans Siberian Orchestra to make this band happen. Which at first was a big scary thing, but I feel like that showed my band how much respect I have for this and how much belief I have in Inglorious, you know. I feel like I made the right decision, especially we've got a #1 album in the UK rock chart right now, so it's been a crazy couple of years, but we're just going to keep doing what we're doing, and hopefully it will continue for many, many years.
Yeah, and I wanted to bring that up too, because Trans Siberian Orchestra, I mean, everyone attached to that project is some of the most prestige musicians in the entire world. And when you go off to venture with a brand new project, not leaving it for a different well-established project, but starting your own thing, I imagine that's got to be very scary. But now, with your brand new sophomore album getting this high praise, being #1 on the UK rock charts, I mean, it's definitely worth it when you can say that your own original material is being heard and liked by so many people.
Yeah, it really is. And I loved being in TSO, don't get me wrong, and I feel like it's such a family. If the door was ever open, and obviously after this sad news about Paul O'Neill earlier this year, I don't know what's going to happen, but they are my family. You know, I was there for 3 years. I toured America 3 times. I went to Europe with them. I headlined Wacken in Germany in front of 80,000 people. TSO gave me so much, gave me so many connections, and opened so many doors for me. So it was really scary to leave, but I truly just wanted to sing my own stuff. I'd never done it before, and I was getting to like 25, and I thought, if I'm going to really make a go at this, and I didn't want a career in rock music. I wanted a life. And I think something like your own project, where you're singing and you're writing and you're kind of calling the shots, is, if you do it properly, and if you keep your head down and you concentrate and you practice and you really want it, it will happen. And that's kind of what it feels like is happening to me right now. I'm at the really exciting point in my life. My friend the other day, who happened to be, she was really good friends with Freddie Mercury, happened to say the time that Freddie enjoyed the most was that time just before they made it, that moment just before he knew it was going to go insane. And she said to me the other night after I sold out album launch, she said, "Right now you're glowing like Freddie was." And I was like, that is awesome. It was a really nice feeling, you know. Like, I feel like there's so much to come, and especially in America, like, we hadn't even been there yet. We went there to do the Monster Rock cruise, but it would be so incredible to get over there and to give you some British bluesy rock and roll, you know.
Oh, without question. I mean, if you guys can land the perfect opening spot, opening for the right hard rock band, I mean, you guys would absolutely take over, and those headlining tours would eventually start to happen once that first support tour really comes through.
Yeah, I think that's what we're looking at this year and early next year. So hopefully, we've got a fantastic agent over here. So we're gonna see. We're looking forward to a good year ahead.
And with having that honor of being a part of TSO for 3 years, how is the feeling of playing music like that compared to playing with Inglorious? I mean, what's like the stage feeling difference?
Well, for me, well, I don't know if you've ever seen TSO. The stage is huge. One, so physically, it's very different. You know, we've played some small venues in this band, but yeah, there's nothing small about TSO. Everything is big. The catering, the tour buses, the hotels, you don't really see people's faces, you know, and I think that's what I found really cool this last year with my own band, is that when you're playing, or even when we were on tour with Steel Panther, when you're playing for a crowd of, I don't know, 500 people to 1,000 to 5,000 people, you can see people. You know, they don't look like blobs or ants in the distance. They look like people. You can see them singing along. You can see if they're enjoying it. You can see if they're hating it. You know, it's a real honest, quick bit of feedback that I've really appreciated, which in TSO, when you've got your in-ear monitors in and you're all dressed up and you're on the stage and there's all the lights going on around you and you can't see further than the first 2 rows, it's a very incredible experience, but a very strange experience.
So when you made that transition, was it scary at all for you to be able to see the crowd more with Inglorious, or were you able to adapt that more naturally? I feel like I almost toned myself down a bit in TSO. I'm quite a loud performer, you know what I mean? I like to move about. I like to dance about and be a bit fun on stage. And in TSO, some of the songs that I was singing does not call for that. So I'd say, yeah, I felt like I was kind of let loose on stage to do whatever I want and to run around. And not that TSO didn't let me, it's just there was no need. When you're singing a ballad, you know, or when you're singing a song with an acoustic guitar and people are putting their phones lit up in the air, or 20,000 people or whatever it is, you don't feel the need to run around. You're kind of just taking it in and making sure you don't mess up the words. But yeah, when it's your own song, you're so relaxed and so confident and just so happy that you can physically hear people singing your songs back at you. Is a feeling that I will never ever grow tired of, I don't think. And in speaking of that, with being able to play new tracks off the new album, how was the reception to the new songs when you first started performing them?
Great. The other night at our album launch, we opened with a new song, Read All About It, which is our first single off the second album, and the crowd just were going wild. They knew all the words, singing along at every chorus to the new stuff and the old stuff. So yeah, I feel like I don't know about everyone, but the 800 people that were there really enjoyed it, you know, and they knew the words, they bought the album. So yeah, it'd just be nice to be able to do it everywhere, you know, and to be able to really get over to the States, because I have such a fondness there, having worked there for 3 years. So I would love to get over there, and I know how much you guys like to rock, you know. Yeah, I think it'd be a really good move for us. So hopefully we'll get over there this year.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. I mean, whether it's like a Steel Panther deciding to bring you over to America, or another band decides to show you off in the right lights, I mean, I definitely think that you guys would go over so well. I mean, once people from here really check out both albums, in particular the new one that just came out a week and a half ago, I think you guys really got that style that will grab people once they get a chance to hear it.
Thank you so much.
Oh yeah, not a problem. I mean, I'm really a fan of this style, and I think it's something that really needs a bit of a resurgence right now, because there's so many aspects of trying to play as technical as you can, or of all different styles or something like that. But you guys just found that great, catchy hard rock edge that used to be so profound, and hopefully that with this, and you and other bands of this style hopefully can bring that back, and remember that melodies and harmonies are something that's supposed to be appreciated in rock music.
Yeah, it's the core of everything, you know. Like we take most of our inspiration from the 70s, but also a little bit from the 80s, because that's what we love. It's the music we love. It's the music that it's without that we wouldn't be where we were musically now. You know, you have to look back to be inspired, because to be honest, in the last 10-15 years, there's nothing that's really excited me as a rocker anyway. So yeah, we try and keep to the simple rules of keeping it live, being able to perform it live like we did on the album, so that people aren't disappointed when they come and see us live. If you buy the album and you like the album, you will like it live. It sounds the exact same. We spent a lot of time practicing. We recorded both albums pretty much live, apart from my vocal, which I put in afterwards. So it's got that same energy, you know. It sounds the same, and that's what I think is really awesome about this band, is that you don't feel shortchanged when you leave a show.
Yeah, and that's how it should be with an album. I mean, an album should be a representation of what you're able to hear live if that band decides to be a live band. I mean, when you listen to an album and there's a whole bunch of things that are going on, and then you go to see that band live and they don't play those parts, you may leave disappointed. But I can tell with Inglorious, with the sounds that are coming through, the melodies, the harmonies, the style, everything there. I mean, once I get the chance to finally be able to see you guys, I know I'm going to leave that much happier knowing that you guys are playing everything that's been recorded on album.
Thanks, man. Yeah, that's the way to do it. And I feel like the reason people don't do it now like that is because a lot of people can't. I think a lot of people have grown up in this age of bedroom playing and not going out and gigging and not really learning their craft. It's as much about doing it live as it is about being technical, you know? I'm not claiming that we're the best individually in the world at singing or bass playing or drumming or whatever, but as a group, it's exciting because we can do it. We do it really well. We try really hard, and we try and put on a good, entertaining show without gimmicks or without any craziness. You know, there's no light show, there's no stupid costumes. Like, it's just 5 guys from Europe playing bluesy classic rock music well, and also, more importantly, having a great time. We are having the time of our lives, and we feel so lucky to be able to do it.
Yeah, and there's got to be no better feeling than that, than finding the right group of musicians to write the music that you want to play that music live, and hopefully be able to tour around the world year-round, being able to showcase your great music all over.
Yeah, man, it's awesome. Really awesome feeling.
Well, awesome. Well, again, thank you so very much for taking the time to talk to me. Again, apologies on my end if there was anything I did with Skype or something, or if Skype was just messing up or whatever, but I'm glad we were able to make the time to do this interview, because I really wanted to be able to properly promote the brand new album from you guys, and I can't say it enough. I really love what you guys are doing, and I think it's something that really needs to be shown off more, just showcasing those hard rock melodies and harmonies from yesteryear and bringing that into 2016 and now 2017, and just really showcase that this style is something that is deserving to stick around, because it is so memorable, so catchy, and so good.
Thank you so much, Josh.
Oh, not a problem. And before we're done, is there anything else that you'd like to mention that I haven't brought up yet?
No, I think we covered everything. Just buy the album is the basic rule, because no one is buying them nowadays. It's a miracle that we managed to get to #1 in the UK rock chart, and in the main UK top 20 we were number 10 on the midweek. So, and that's all music. So yeah, well, people need to buy music, you know. That's my main thing, is that all of my heroes earn loads of money through selling albums. We're not going to sell millions of albums because no one's buying millions of albums. So the more you do buy, the more it means, you know. Support young bands, because they are ultimately the future. Not all of my heroes aren't going to be around in 10 or 20 years' time. So let's get behind some young music, and let's celebrate it.
And the point with that, too, is the more people buy the albums, the more you'll be able to tell where your audience is, and more of a likely chance you'll be able to go there and play.
Absolutely, and our record label says that all the time. They are constantly updating us with our sales in different countries, and we had a spike in Italy, so they're now talking about putting us on a festival in Italy this year. So it does work, you know. If people spread the word, and if someone really feels passionate about it, it doesn't cost anything to send 10 people a message going, check out this band, send them a YouTube video, you know. It's not hard to do. I've done it for friends before. So yeah, if you really feel passionate about us, and if you feel passionate about this music, share the love, let's spread the word, and hopefully we'll come over there sooner rather than later.